Hello, and welcome to the US 275 Scientific Ethics Lecture on Civility. I'm John Hoffman, Professor of Biology and instructor of this course. And so hopefully in the first half of today's lectures, you took a look at the concepts of perspective and conflict. In this kind of lecture, what I would like to do is go over civility, go over how we should be kind of responding to these conflicts with one another as we're going through the course and ideally as we're going through life. So again, some quotes to kind of set the stage for what we're going to be thinking about. So there is a need for civility, especially in the academic setting. So a quote by John Howard: "It's too much to expect in an academic setting that we should all agree." And I would add that, in an academic setting, we should not all agree. We should have differences of opinions, and we should be able to express those opinions. But to continue on with John Howard's quote, "But it is not too much to expect discipline and unvarying civility." So let's recognize the conflict. Let's recognize these different perspectives and try to use this as an opportunity to learn about ourselves and learn about one another in a respectful way as we interact with our colleagues within the course. So some concepts that I really want to emphasize within this course is that we need to have respect for ourselves and others. Again, a quote from PM Forney: "Respecting others' opinion doesn't mean we're being untrue to our own." And so it's not necessarily required that you hear somebody else's perspective and you completely give up your own. What I hope you are going to get out of this course is the ability to hear one's classmates, another's perspective, and use that as an opportunity to learn about them, as well as learn more about what we believe in, what our perspective is going to be. And so, just again, a broad view about principles of civility. And I would argue that these are principles of good communication. So take a look at it. Pay attention, listen. That's the hardest part. And we looked at that in the Kid President earlier within the course. We should be listening and ideally not just hearing, but understanding what the person that's speaking to us is talking about. Speak kindly. Talk to one another in a respectful way. Respect others' opinions and others people's time and space. Assume the best. All too often, we see that in conflicts, people automatically assume that the other person is being antagonistic, that is being intentionally an effort to cause problem or cause difficulty, where in many cases it's just kind of an understanding of their perspective, or it's especially on social media or Twitter or things like that. You're looking at trying to convey your ideas in a very short kind of sequence, and so a lot gets lost within the translation. And so these are, again, just basic principles of civility, basic principles of communication. Learn to accept and give praise. Learn to assert yourself, but take responsibility for what it is that you're doing. It's fine to, be able to express your opinion, but, don't shout at the person you're talking to. Don't do all caps when you're posting in the group discussions, just because it's inconsiderate. You want to be, be kind to one another as we're going through the course and as you're going through life. So pay attention. Give whatever you are doing and whoever you are with the gift of your attention. You really need to listen. You need to kind of pay attention. Look in, it's hard in an online course, but, look the individual that's talking to you in the eyes so that they know that, you're not, scrolling through your phone or, thinking about what it is you want to do for dinner or what are you going to do, later on this weekend or things like that. And again, just a simple image to go along with it, because I think it's an important concept. Freedom isn't free. You have to pay attention. You need to be paying attention and be a responsible member of society and interacting with one another. Oliver Wendell Holmes: "It's the province of the knowledge to speak. It is the privilege of wisdom to listen." So again, speak your mind, um, express your perspective, support it with evidence, support it with, references, support it with, you know, a better understanding of what it is that allows you to believe, or kind of gives you the perspective to believe what it is that you do. But be willing to listen to other people's perspective as well, because you're going to learn about them, and I would argue learn about yourself along the way. Speak kindly. Treat everyone with politeness, even those who are rude to you, not because they are nice, but because you are. Just because somebody is being mean to you, or saying, kind of unkind things to you, doesn't mean that you need to respond in the same way. Be the better person. Be nice to them, and perhaps, you'll help, bring them along, because we don't know what that other person is going through. They may be, posting in a group discussion, but they were stuck in traffic. Well, it's hard to, with everything that's going on in the world today. Maybe not stuck in traffic, but maybe, their car broke down, they had to walk home, and, they were late for dinner, dinner was cold, and, the only thing they got in the mail was bills that need to be paid, and, it's just an all-around bad day, and they're not in a good mood, and they got this assignment due because Dr. Hoffman said that they had to do this assignment, and they had to, post in the group discussion, so they're just not ready to do it. And because of that, they're being a bit abrupt, they're being a little bit rude. And it's not, attacking an individual intentionally. It's not, against other people within the class. It's just expressing where they're at the time. And by responding to them in a respectful and kind way, you may be able to, change their perspective, change their ideas. So maybe it's not as bad a day as they thought, because they're having a good discussion with classmates within the course. Assume the best. And this is one that, I try to encourage people kind of all throughout life, is that, assume that individuals are working with the best intentions. They're not intentionally trying to antagonize you. They're not intentionally being, a jerk, or, whatever kind of name you want to give them. They're just kind of expressing what they're thinking, but maybe not expressing it as appropriately as you would like. So Rudyard Kipling, I always prefer to believe the best in everybody. It saves so much trouble. So, assume the best, kind of going forward. Respect others' opinions. What you would desire others to do for you, you should do for others. You should respect others as you want them to be, as you want to be respected by them. By Sri Sathya Sai Baba, which I'm probably mispronouncing badly. Respect other opinions, but recognize that intolerance will not be tolerated within the course. I don't want you to be disrespectful to others. Everybody has a valid viewpoint, even if we disagree with them, even if, it's a mindset that we would not, accept for ourselves. But we need to be able to, have that discussion. Ultimately, we may be able to sway a person's view by sharing our experiences, sharing our thoughts with them, so that they're able to evolve their view and change over time. And again, that's something that you're going to be doing kind of throughout your college years, and it's going to be something you're going to be doing throughout your lives. You're going to be interacting with other people, you're going to be learning from them, gaining more evidence, gaining more experiences, and your opinions and your views are going to change over time, over your life. Respect other people's time and space. You should respect each other and refrain from disputes. You should not, like water and oil, repel one another, but should, like milk and water, mingle together. And this is from the founder of Buddhism, Prince Gautama Siddhartha Pritha. So, be respectful. We're going to put people together in this course, put together controversial items to talk about, or essays to write about, because I want you to really kind of explore different perspectives, to be able to learn how to express yourself in a respectful manner, and have your views being challenged, not just to be, a pain about it, not to be, a jerk about it. I'm thinking of all the other things I shouldn't, call people and put in a video, but, learn to be respectful, learn to, challenge your ideas and challenge others, but do it in a respectful way. Acknowledge others. Alfred North Whitehead. No one who achieves success does so without acknowledging the help of others. The wise and confident acknowledge this help with gratitude. Especially in science, what we're doing in science today builds upon the work of scientists in the past. We aren't all going into the laboratory, getting these great ideas and starting from scratch. We're building upon the work from others. And what we're going to do, throughout life is, work with others, and we're dependent upon others because none of us can do everything all on our own. Assert yourself. He who does not have the courage to speak up for his rights cannot earn the respect of others. So, learn how to stand up for yourself. Learn how to kind of express your thoughts in an appropriate way without attacking other individuals. And so, again, this is kind of a nice kind of diagram on the right-hand side of this slide, taking a look at your needs and expressing your needs versus other needs. You want to be assertive without being overly aggressive, but then you don't want to be, completely passive and, be the martyr, to be the person. It's like, I'll go along with whatever, the group wants to do because, I don't want to cause problems. I think we're going off in the wrong direction, but it's probably easier to just go off in the wrong direction and deal with that as opposed to assert myself and run the risk of, offending others. We're going to have conflict in the course. We're going to have disagreements in this course. You need to be able to express yourself, assert yourself in a respectful way, and other members of the class, me as your instructor, need to recognize that and recognize your perspective and appreciate what it is that you're bringing to this course. Take responsibility. One's philosophy is not best expressed in words, it is expressed in the choices one makes, and the choices we make are ultimately our responsibility. So, if you make a mistake, admit it. Say, I screwed up. I'll do better next time. I'll learn from my mistakes. But take responsibility for what it is you're doing in the class and what you're doing in life. Accept and give constructive criticism. And I love this little image over here. You compliment somebody. I like what you did, in the layout of your essay or in your discussion, criticism. But have you thought about, providing a little bit more evidence about what's going on? Maybe make some references to the information in the lecture or the readings within the course. But still, I think you had some good ideas, and I think you should keep going on that. So compliment, criticism, compliment. Winston Churchill, Prime Minister of England during World War II. Criticism may not be agreeable, but it is necessary. It fulfills the same function as pain in the human body. It calls attention to an unhealthy state of things. And so when I, am critical on, grading one of your assignments, or one of your colleagues is critical on their response, we're not pointing out to say, I'm right, you're wrong, or I know this and you don't. But it's an idea to kind of convey to you that, maybe you can challenge yourself in some way. Maybe you can do a little bit more and make it even better. And so do that. And so this final image is Graham's hierarchy of disagreement. So again, we want to try to get away from doing the ad hominem name calling attacks similar to the Monty Python script that we talked about before. What we want to do is ultimately have a discussion focused on the disagreement, but ultimately kind of at the apex of this pyramid up here, refute the point of the argument, refute the point of the disagreement, and support it with evidence and explain, what it is that, is giving rise to the disagreement, and explain your perspective and say, okay, this is why I think differently than what you're thinking. And again, hopefully in this course, we're not going to start out with name calling and ad hominem. I'm going to assume that we're going to bypass all of this stuff down here. We're basically going to be moving up this pyramid as we go through the course and have better examples of discussions where we're disagreeing and asserting our opinion in a respectful manner so that we can share our ideas with others so they can learn about us as well as we can learn about others. Now, to bring this back to Arcadia and Arcadia's campus, Arcadia University has a statement on civility, which covers many of the same ideas that I've shown in these previous few slides. Arcadia's statement on civility says, respect the dignity of all persons, even people we disagree with. Respect the rights and privacy of others. Strive to learn from the differences in people, ideas, and opinions. That's my goal from this course, is that I'm going to challenge you with ideas. You're going to be challenged by ideas by other people within the course. Learn from those differences, learn about others, as well as learning about yourselves. But we are going to discourage bigotry. We want to have respectful conversations that are civil and appropriate with one another. Demonstrate concern for others, their feelings and their needs for conditions that support their work and development. And so don't attack each other. Challenge the ideas. You're not attacking a person. You're saying, I don't agree with what you've said here, and this is why I don't agree with it. And so let's have a conversation so we can understand where we agree and where we disagree. And then finally, act with integrity. Now, keep in mind that in this course, and hopefully in life, civility is not the same as censorship. What we're going to be focusing in on is recognizing our disagreements with one another. We're going to have conversations with one another, but the comments and our conversation needs to be civil and useful. It needs to be focused on the ideas. And so again, no personal attacks or insults, no ad hominem, no, you're a jerk, or your ideas are awful because you're an awful person. So don't comment about the group or the individuals that are posting it. Focus on the ideas. I don't agree with what you said here. From my perspective, I think we should think about it in a slightly different way, based on my experience or based on the readings within this course. And then finally, and this is going to be related to some more concepts that are going to be related to academic freedom, especially important on a campus community. Academic freedom encompasses the rights of freedom of inquiry to kind of explore ideas that you're interested in, expression of those ideas, to be able to write them or verbalize them, freedom of publication, association, debate, and dissent. It's okay to disagree, but the essential educational enterprise is the advancement of truth, the dissemination of knowledge, and the development of free and responsible citizens that ideally can recognize the differences in one another and be able to react to that in an appropriate and responsible way. And again, related to academic freedom is the First Amendment of the Constitution. Congress shall make no law that abridges the freedom of speech or of the press or of the right of people to peaceably assemble. So recognizing that within the First Amendment of the Constitution, within the Bill of Rights, we need to be able to recognize that people are going to have differing views and they need to be able to express those views in a responsible and a respectful manner. Now, the readings for this, again, these will be posted on the Canvas site. The Meaning of Civility by Burgess and Burgess. How to Disagree, again, Disagree Appropriately by Paul Graham, and an ACLU short article on speech on campus. As always, if you have any questions, feel free to email me. Thank you and have a great day.